My sister-in-law, Lisa, is an absolute nightmare. She wants to embarrass me, but she didn't do it in front of the family. No, she did it at her shower party, with 100 people there, and she told everyone that, well, it's cool to be pregnant because OP of the story is infertile and she'll never have a baby. Well, little does Miss Lisa know. I know her deep dark secret, and now I'm going to expose it to everybody.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm posting here because something happened in my life that has made me a bad person in a lot of people's eyes. Surprisingly, some people who consider me a bad person don't even want to hear the full story from me. They just want to jump on the bandwagon and hate on me because my sister-in-law is doing so. For a lot of people, I'm on the good side, the right side, because they know what I've endured and they acknowledge that I did everything I could to make this family stay sane and stable. But I can't let someone walk all over me and just do nothing about it. That's not who I was brought up to be. To give you guys a backstory before I go on explaining what exactly happened, I've been married to my husband for around 5 years now. Before that, we dated for 5 years as well, so technically we've known each other for 10 years now. That's a very big amount of time to know someone, and I'm so glad it was Tom who decided to marry me and make me the happiest person on this planet. For some reason, though, even though I was the nicest I could be to his family, his sister Lisa, well, she never liked me. I didn't even do anything to her, but every time she'd see me at her house or at an event that I was invited to along with Tom, she'd make the sourest face possible, like she could not even bear to look at me. It had started when we were dating, and even after 5 years of marriage, the expression on her face remains the same. I thought nothing of it, because she was not causing me any harm or doing anything bad towards me, and I really only cared about Tom. As long as he loved me, there was nothing I had to worry about. Not about my family, nor about this. I probably should have talked this out through business, because this time, it went way too far. Even more backstory so you guys understand why what she did was so bad. Basically, I'm infertile. We found out in our second year of marriage because we started trying around 6 months into our marriage. Tom and I always wanted kids, even though we weren't married or anything, because it's just something that we dreamt of our entire lives. Both of us are huge children lovers. It wasn't even a question whether we wanted to start trying early or later on in the marriage. When I talked to him about it during our engagement period, he was actually the one who suggested that both of us should try for a child in just a few months. We had been talking about it. We were sure, and we were both in stable jobs as well, so there's no worry that we would not be able to handle it, or that it would get too much for us. I work a well-paying job, and so does Tom. We don't have any restrictions regarding money, which I'm very thankful for. I'm not really bragging or anything here, but it's the truth. We knew we could give our kids a nice life, and so we were ready to bring them into our world. However, there were some trials, and we have not been able to have one yet. So, we've been trying for over a year, and we've never gotten any results. It got to the point where it was starting to get concerning, because we expected that we would need to keep trying for an entire year, with no results whatsoever. We even tracked my cycle to find the best day to conceive, and that didn't work either. So, we got it checked out, and turns out I'm infertile. That means I'll never be able to have my own children in life. Ever. When I shared the news with our family, everybody was devastated, and rightfully so. Everyone knew how much of a dream it was for Tom and me to have kids, and, well, that was stolen from us. It broke us. We needed our family by our side, but honestly, Tom's family was not someone I could have counted on during that period of time. Especially Lisa. Ugh, my goodness. Lisa was so annoying during this entire thing. I was out there in front of the entire family, crying my butt off, and she'd just stand there trying to hide a smirk behind her hand. She thought nobody would notice, but literally everybody saw it. I don't think she felt happy that her brother and sister-in-law could not have a child, but she's just the type of person to kick others when they're down. Like, if you're feeling bad about something, you can bet that Lisa will make you feel worse about it. I don't know how Tom and Lisa come from the same family, but at least I got the better sibling. Anyways, moving on to right now. 3 years after me announcing that I'm infertile and around 5 years, Lisa announced that she was pregnant. She had married her boyfriend Zach, a little over a year ago, and now she was pregnant. I mean, I was happy for her, truly, because I'm not the kind of person who puts other people down just because they can't have something, and I'm really not the kind of person who kicks other people down every chance that they get. So yes, I was happy for Lisa, and I even called her to congratulate her. But she ended the call with, "I'm so sorry, you can't ever have this experience." The amount of anger I felt when she said this, guys, I can't even explain it. I felt like I could burst any moment out of anger, because I was quite literally fuming. I wanted to go to her house and slam her face into the wall until she apologized for what she had said. Everyone knew that my infertility was a sensitive topic for me, even though it had been a few years already. I was still heartbroken, and it was my right to feel this way. The fact that Lisa used this against me while I was trying to be nice and congratulate her on her birthday was absolutely ridiculous. And that's not even the worst part. A month ago, Lisa kept her baby shower and invited everyone, including her friends and even extended family. So it was a big event and way too many people in there as well. I'm sure there must be around 70 to 100 people in her baby shower. Now, let me tell you what she did during that baby shower. Tom and I went there as we would want to go to any baby shower. We took gifts, and we were happy for the couple, all that shazam. So, we expected to be treated well, but obviously that can never happen with Lisa because she did the most unthinkable, unspeakable thing during her toast. It started out normal. She thanked everyone for attending, and she talked about how great her husband was, how great her child would be, and how excited she was. It was all normal, and honestly, up till that point, I would have thought it was a good toast, a great one even. But then, she did the most Lisa thing she could have ever done. She included me into that toast. Not directly, but it was not indirectly either. Everyone could tell it was about me. Let me tell you what she said. She looked me straight in the eyes, and she went, "Honestly, it wasn't that hard to conceive this child. I don't know why some people make it such a big deal and can't have one." And then proceeded to laugh in the most sadistic tone I've ever heard in my entire life. At first, I thought nobody would notice that it was about me, and that I could just relax and just cry about it when I get home. But when I felt Tom's hand squeezing mine and looking up to see everybody in the entire room turning to look at me with either pity or amusement in their eyes, I knew it wasn't just me who knew who this was directed towards. It was everyone in Tom's extended family, and not just that, some of Lisa's friends, who were looking at me with these total eyes of amusement, laughing their butts off like she's just told us the funniest joke ever heard. Ridiculous, honestly. People like Lisa can only be friends with such people who laugh at other people's struggles. As soon as I felt everyone looking at me with those eyes, the tears started prickling my eyes and I had to choke back a sob. I left Tom's hand, dropped my wine glass on the ground, and left the place in tears. I could hear Tom's voice calling after me, but I did not stop until I reached the car. I almost sat in my seat, but when I heard my mother-in-law's voice, I paused. Well, I waited a second. I thought maybe she had come to apologize to me for her daughter's actions, but obviously this was not the case. What can I expect from someone who brought up someone like Lisa? Honestly, I'm still shocked at how Tom managed to turn out to be so nice and caring, while living in between these vile people. Anyway, She came up to me while I was on my way to go sit in the car, and out of nowhere she just starts screaming at me for causing a mess at her daughter's baby shower. I was so shocked when she told me this. Did I really cause a mess? Me? Not the person who basically shamed me for something I have no control over in front of everyone? Something that's been bothering me for years, and something that I've tried so hard to get over. She doesn't see that, but she sees the fact that I left this event in tears about something crude that her own daughter said about me. That too, by the way, was in front of 100+ people. It just boiled my blood so badly, I can't even begin to explain it. I almost gave her a piece of my mind right then and there. But Tom appeared next to me, and he calmed me down a bit. So, I'm so thankful for him appearing in that moment in time, because one more second alone with his mother screaming in my face, I would have burst like a balloon. When Tom tried to interfere, she started screaming at him as well, talking about how spoiled I was and how I did not appreciate this wonderful family that I was a part of. So funny, please. This, quote, nice family has cost me my mental health in so many situations that I can't even count anymore. This nice family has just caused me to run out of an event in tears, and she's asking me to be grateful? Absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what's even more ridiculous? I'll tell you. So basically, all night just consisted of his mom screaming at us for ruining her daughter's event, and I was sitting in the passenger seat of our vehicle on the verge of a panic attack. First of all, I was already so freaking anxious about the cruel toast that Lisa made about me in front of everybody, and on top of that, Helen comes out screaming at us like a banshee for doing nothing but expressing how we feel about the situation at hand. And it's not like we made a big deal about the situation either. I just felt humiliated, and so I left while crying. That's it. That's all I did. I did not want to do that anymore, so I told Tom that we should just go home, and so we left, even though Helen was stealing from her. The next morning, Tom and I sat down to talk about it because obviously, the night before we both were so emotionally exhausted that we did not really have the energy to talk about the situation, and so we just went to sleep. When we woke up and talked about it, we decided that we need to talk to Helen about it and let her know that what she did was not okay. We also needed to tell her that even though we can't have children, we're thinking about adoption. Again, just like every other thing in this daily, this did not work out that well either, because when we called her and explained our side of the story, she still kept blaming us and stuff, and we were tired of hearing it, so we tried to switch the conversation to the adoption technique. When I tell you that Helen got so mad at us for even thinking about adopting kids, I am not even exaggerating. She actually did not just get mad like, "Oh, I'm so mad about this decision, I don't support this." No, that wasn't it. I mean, we did hear that, but we heard way worse stuff. To be precise, Helen told Tom that he should just divorce me if I can't provide a child because that's my main purpose in a marriage, and if I can't fulfill that, then I don't deserve to be married to him. Obviously, I burst out crying again when I heard that, because I really love Tom a lot, and just thinking about leaving him is something that brings pain into my heart. For Helen to suggest that, it felt really bad. Tom obviously refused because I know he loves me as well, and he knows that his mother's wrong in the situation, but he got really angry when she told him that if he ever decided to adopt a kid, she would not accept them into the daily, because they would not be related to us through blood. That's when Tom got really hurt as well and started to realize just how toxic and demanding his mother actually is. Now, Tom's really sad about the entire thing. I always believed that family was about love, acceptance, and the bonds we create. But Helen seems stuck in this rigid mindset that blood relation is the only thing that matters. It's frustrating to see her deny our future kids if we decide to adopt any children the love and support they deserve. I want nothing more than for our kids to feel like they truly belong and are embraced by the entire family. It's been tough for me to witness Helen's rejection, especially when I see the hurt it causes my husband. We just wanted a nice daily with maybe 2 to 3 kids, and Helen's depriving us of that. I know, it's our choice in the end, but Tom really loves his mother, even after everything that she's done to us, and he would never do something that would potentially put their relationship at risk. And neither would he want his kids to grow up without the love of his paternal grandmother. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Oh man, OP's mother-in-law and sister-in-law are on another level. Guys, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button for daily videos. It does support the channel a lot, and I really appreciate each and every subscriber. Here is update number 1. So, time for an update. This one's a little better than the previous one, as in it's not as much of me being a victim of this vile family, and their ways of trying to degrade me or anything like that. This time, it's just Lisa, but honestly, she's more than enough for me to go down the drain mentally. So basically, you know, how previously I was so upset about not being able to have my own children? Well, guess what? I can. And no, before anyone starts commenting and talking about how I wasn't actually sure about my infertility, I was just making a big deal out of it without actually taking the opinions of multiple doctors. I did. I visited multiple doctors and I took opinions from all of them. I got tested, and everything happened objectively. This time, I just found out a way to treat my infertility and have a baby of my own. I mean, yeah, it took some time. 2 months before I got the results that I was pregnant, but it worked. And it worked well. Tom and I were so incredibly happy at that moment because, as I mentioned previously, having kids had been our biggest dream, and the news of my infertility had a really big effect on us. We went through a really tough time and all that, so now that we actually have the opportunity and I'm pregnant, it was a very big deal for us. Not just for us, actually. It was a big moment for our family as well. When we told everyone that I was pregnant, it caused an uproar, but the good kind. You know what I mean? Everyone was super excited for me, and they even decided to have a little party for me as well, just to celebrate our having of a baby, especially if it's something that's been so hard for us to achieve. However, out of everybody present there was only one person who was not happy for us. Well, you can probably guess who that was, right? Yeah, you guessed it. Lisa. She was not excited at all about our pregnancy, and not just that, she told me that I was stealing her spotlight. Yeah, like what's wrong with her? Can you believe it? How was I stealing her spotlight, man? Like, make it make sense. I was celebrating something great that's happened in my life, and I don't know why she's making it all about herself again. It's like everything that I do, or Tom does. It has to be related to her, and she has to be a part of it, but that's really not the case. She has to understand that our lives don't revolve around her. She starts screaming at us, talking about how we knew she was pregnant, and that she was going to have all the spotlight for the next few months, and how I could not bear to watch that. So, I decided to go ahead with my IVF treatments, just so I could steal her spotlight and have everybody's attention on me. Does that make one bit of sense to you guys? I feel like sometimes she hates me so much. She forgets that whatever she's talking about involves her brother as well. How could she sit there and talk about her brother potentially being involved in an IVF treatment that was done just so we could steal her spotlight and be everyone's center of attention? I don't know what I'm going to do about this situation right now, honestly. Tom is really confused as well because at one point he wants to talk to his family and have them involved in every part of his life. But they only seem to be making everything worse, and I know that it's bugging Tom a lot. I tried to talk to him about it, but he did not give me a proper response. So that day, slowly, he's been letting me know just how sad he is about the entire situation. Update number 2. Okay, so here's another update, and trust me, this one is absolutely wild. So basically, after the entire fiasco happened with Lisa and how she ended up blaming us for something that we did out of our own happiness, we decided that enough was enough. It took us a few months, but we decided that we can't take this any longer, and Tom was with me on board with the idea that we should talk to someone in the family about it. I suggested we talk to Zach, Lisa's husband, because he seems like a sensible person, and also because that man needs to know whatever his wife is doing is wrong, and if anybody can convince Lisa to own up to her crap, it would probably be her husband. Anyways, we decided to confront him, but we did not want Lisa to know that we were talking about her or even talking to him because she would cause another useless drama. So, we asked him if we could come over to our house without letting Lisa know. He agreed, and he met us at our place. Initially, Tom and I thought that this was just going to be us talking about our problems with Lisa, and just let him know that it had gone way too far, right? Like, that was what was going on in my head, and we did talk about it actually. We let him know that we were not okay with whatever she had said to us, nor how she treated me at the baby shower. I especially put a lot of emphasis on the baby shower event because it seems like Lisa has just gotten way too cruel since then. Like the toast she did. That was too much, and she should not have done that. Anyways, Zach agreed with us and told us that he did not quite think that Lisa was right in the situation either. Said that he talked to her about it and she starts fighting with him. So he just let it be. One more thing that he told us shocked Tom to the core. Me? Not so much. Zach told us he had a suspicion that the baby that Lisa's carrying is not his. He said that for the past month or so, Lisa's been really secretive, and she would not talk to him much or do things that would cause a lot of suspicion. She would talk too much on the phone, she would hide where she was going, things like that just kept adding up for the past few weeks, and now, Zach was not sure if the baby was his. He told us he wants to get a postpartum paternity test to see if the child was his or not. I could not keep lying to Zach when he looked so devastated, sitting on my couch with his head in his hands and his eyes pleading with us to help him through this. He was not at fault in any of this. It was the mother-daughter duo, the nightmare, that were doing all these stunts to make us feel miserable, and Zach really had no say in it. So, I decided that I would let him know. I'd seen Lisa indulge in a very suspicious-looking conversation with her ex-boyfriend at one of the parties we attended before the baby shower. I can't remember exactly what the party was or anything like that, but it was something that Lisa had hosted and she invited her ex as well, which I already thought was weird, considering she has a husband, but I saw their conversation and how touchy they were when I went to go to the washroom. Zach seemed really heartbroken when I told him this, but he said he needs to do something about it. I'm not sure what he's going to do though, guys. I'll update you. Update number 3. Time to let you all know what exactly happened with Lisa and her ex-boyfriend whom she cheated on with Zach. Yeah. So, remember how in the last update I told you all that Zach was really heartbroken and he wanted to do something about it because he did not want to let Lisa get away with this? Yeah. So, he decided that he was actually going to do something, and he decided to involve me in the process as well because actually, I'm not quite sure yet. He just said that I should be the one to do this and announce to everyone in the family what Lisa's actually doing. Lisa also had her baby last month, and Zach decided that he was going to get a postpartum paternity test to see what the baby actually is. He did that without Lisa knowing, and he got the results with clear claim that he's not the father of the child. Initially, I thought I should not be the one to let this all go to hell for Lisa, because this time it's something that did not happen to me or is not affecting me in any way whatsoever. But then again, I feel like I should at least let her get a taste of her own medicine. So basically, the plan was that I was going to host a dinner party, and then in that dinner party, we would let everyone know what was actually going on. I also had the perfect opportunity to host a dinner party because I needed to host one for my successful IVF treatment as well. So, we went on with the plan. I hosted a dinner party a week ago and I invited everyone. My friends, our extended family, I mean everyone. I mean, if I'm giving her a piece of her own medicine, I want everyone to be there to experience it with me. Anyways, moving on to the dinner party. I hosted it in the evening, and when it was time for everybody to arrive, I made sure that they knew I had a big announcement I needed to do, and so they all needed to gather around so I could announce something. It was halfway through the dinner when I gathered everybody and started my announcement. Initially, I started with a toast to my wonderful husband and how grateful I am that he stuck with me through his entire thing, and how it was probably not that easy. Then I dropped the bomb. I was actually very hesitant, but I looked at Zach and he gave me a comforting smile, nodding to me to continue going, so I continued. It was so satisfying, you guys. I can't even begin to tell you just how much I wanted to look at Lisa right in the face and scream at her for every horrible thing that she's ever done to me. I did not do that, though. Mainly because I did not want to scream. Anyways, during the speech, I mentioned how it was not easy for Tom to stay with me because some people actually don't do that. Then I dropped it. The bomb. That the baby that Lisa's carrying is not actually her baby, and that she does not even know that her own husband's aware of the fact that she's cheating on him with her ex-boyfriend. Ugh, as soon as I announced that, chatter spread throughout the entire crowd, and just as I anticipated, she starts to scream, just like a banshee again, and questioned how I was making this claim because I did not know anything about her, and all this bullcrap. That's when I pulled out the report from the DNA test, and let everyone know that the real father was in fact not Zach. It was obviously very surprising for everybody there because Lisa would always boast about how much of a great relationship that Zach and she had. Wow. And how there was never any couple out there that was better than both of them because, God forbid, there was anyone out there in any shape or form that was better than Lisa. She starts screaming at the top of her lungs in front of everyone and left the party. Helen, right behind her, followed suit. It's been an absolute chaos since then, but there's nothing confrontational that's happened yet. So, if it does, I'll let you guys know. If not, this might be the last update. Update number 4. Never mind, it was not the last update. I mean, it should have been, obviously, because there's no way that Lisa would let something like this go without confronting me or making a big deal about it. Anyways, she came over to my house with Helen and starts demanding that I apologize to her right this instant for ruining her life and her reputation. She told me that after the entire fiasco, as I did, Zach decided to divorce her and file for custody as well because he claimed that a child cannot be left with Lisa when she's like this, unloyal and unreliant. Zach thought that she was potentially going to be unattentive to the child and it was going to cause problems in the family. Helen also told me that I did the wrong thing and that I should have just kept quiet because this was a matter that I did not concern with. And so I had no right to do what I did. This is funny, because I know for a fact that if I had been caught cheating on Tom, there would be no way Lisa would have ever let this go. She would have made the biggest deal about it. That's exactly what I told them, but they still continued to crap on me and just scream. Tom was also being screamed at because, well, being the amazing husband that he is very supportive of me, and they were just crapping on me and told me that he was not going to let them stand in their house and insult his wife like this. I love him so much, it's crazy. We support Zach in his divorce and custody battle because we know how tough it might have been for him to go through everything with a strong smile on his face. And so, Tom and I have constantly made sure that he knows that we're there for him, and that we support him with whatever decision he decides to make. The entire family is also divided because half of them think that I made a big deal out of nothing, and that I should not have inserted myself into a matter that was not of my family, but I think that's because they don't know my side of the story, and they don't know the amount of crap I've had to go through because of Helen and Lisa. The people who do know what I've been through are very supportive of me, and are telling me I did a great job and that they're going to support me always. So, for now, I think that this is the last update. I really do. I know I said that last time, but I don't want to drag this out anymore. I'm not going to be updating it at all, so thank you for everything that you guys have done for me and being with me on this wild ride. It meant so much.
So it turns out Lisa was part of a dark, secret affair. But I want to talk about something different about this story. I want to talk about the comment section because, well, a lot of people were just destroying and ripping apart OP's husband, which was Lisa's brother. They were saying how he made this go too far, he should have stopped this way before Lisa got carried away, and honestly, he should have cut off contact, and it should not have taken this far for that to happen, so I want to hear from you guys. Do you think that's true, or do you think OP was the one that had to handle this, and oh boy, she handled it? So drop your comments down below. Let's discuss this story in the comment section. If you guys are new to the channel, hello, my name's Mr. Reddito. I narrate and animate stories every single day. So if you want more stories, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button right underneath this video and make sure you hit the bell notifications too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. And remember, it's cool to be kind. See ya.